going against what I'm saying, which are the lyrics. Wow, it's been a while since I worked on this song.
Crying all alone.
He's all alone. He's all alone.
Hi,
Hey.
I'm Max Kohn,
And I'm Ezra Collins.
and I directed Midnight.
And I made the song. So Midnight is really the climax of my album. And the whole album is very light, airy, and loving. But this final song is a lot more intimate and personal and almost somber at times.
I had known Ezra vaguely. We both lived at the dorm at City College, and I'd seen you around at like the game night and other. I'd just seen you around. I needed a score for my film, Time to Cry, and I was also looking to get experience shooting music videos because I had never done it. Music video. I think I brought it up to you that I was just like, hey, like I could shoot a music video for you in return for you scoring my film, and you were very open to it. We were almost going to shoot the music video in, was it April or May? And then it rained. It rained on the day that we were supposed to shoot, and that we were like so busy with other things and like other things were happening. And it was like, that was the only day we could shoot, and like it rained. And we were just like, the song's supposed to be sad, but maybe that's taking it a little too far. So we were just like, and I'm actually so grateful because I'll admit I was so unprepared for that day. I was so unprepared. I didn't look at anything. I was sort of just like, yeah, I'll just wing it. But like, why would you ever want to wing a music video? It's like you made like some Google sheet with like ideas for scenes, and I said like, oh, I'll just shoot what he gave me. But what is it going to look like? What we ended up doing is that we waited, but then the semester ended, and that was a problem because I need the camera from the school to shoot the music video. And then I think I told Ezra, like, yeah, I'll just, like, try to buy my own camera. And then after a couple months in the summer, once I secured that camera, I was just like, I remember I texted you, like, what did it, like I said, like, it's on, or like, I got the camera. I think that's why I was really grateful for the delay. Because we really got to discuss more, not only, what are we going to see, but why are we seeing it? And what is this meaning of everything? Because I didn't expect this song just to be like the most like deep thing ever. Like, like so a lot of music videos, I don't know if you've seen them, they're just like, going out with the friends, just like hanging out with the friends, you're at a deli or you're at like the park and you're just like singing with your friends. It's just really not like. And then when I listened to the song, I was like, oh wait, I have to put in a lot of work for this, which I was very, very glad to do, and I should have done that the whole time. This was interesting. Here, pause. This was interesting. This was kind of on the day we decided to do this. Originally, we were just going to have Ezra in the music room playing with a blue light. And, he's staring at himself in the mirror because that's like kind of like the whole song. It's like, who is he? So, but he is a musician. He starts playing. Ooh. Okay. So this, you can explain some of this shot.
Yeah, so this is actually my personal favorite shot. Man, I'm so happy I got to explain this because I knew no one would understand it if I didn't. It's very symbolic.
Very.
So you'll notice on the left side of my head is a synth, and then on the right side is a microphone. And that kind of represents like the symbolic nature of myself, who is a very like mathematical and technical person, but also a very creative and expressive person. And on top of that, underneath me are all of these vinyl looking CDs that we tried to break before realizing it was a serious safety hazard. And on each CD is a different song that I've written in the past. So it's symbolically talking about how
some of them were broken.
We did break like one or two.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's symbolically talking about how I'm kind of held up by my past dead songs, for lack of better words. Yeah, and then getting the camera above. Do you want to talk
Oh
about that?
wow, yeah, that was crazy. So we had a couple crew members helping us. So he's lying down on the ground. I don't have a crane, so we use the tripod, and there's a cool behind the scenes photo of like me just like holding the holding the tripod over him with the camera on, literally just like completely over him.
Yeah.
So let's keep on playing. So this shot, in terms of you playing, did you have something in your ear? I don't remember.
So yeah, I had like an earbud in my
Yeah.
ear, or no, I had two. That way I could focus on
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna be honest though. I'm playing in the same rhythm. I'm not playing the same notes because I'm like an improv pianist. So I'm playing the right area and kind of the right chords, but it's almost impossible to tell. But if someone out there wants to try to figure it out by watching every single piano note, I am not quite playing the same thing.
He's got a lot on his mind.
Oh,
So
yes.
this is
Beautiful.
beautiful shot, and I want to say thank you to Sony and thank you to Cine EI because they were the ones that really made this beautiful. I'm still
Okay.
trying to understand what Cine EI is. If you guys know what Cine EI is, put it in the thing. Put it in the comments. See, this is what you have to take away, young filmmakers. Not everyone knows everything.
In fact, very people. No one knows anything. You just gotta go
no
for
one
it.
knows anything. This was shot at Riverbank Park. Was this in your original thing? I don't think so.
No, this, to give Max all the credit he deserves, this was not at all planned. He was just like, oh, I found this awesome spot that I want to go to. And I was like, oh, okay, let's see what happens. And then it was like by far the most beautiful shot of the entire video. Like that was entirely his idea. It looks gorgeous.
Because I love Riverbank. Maybe we shouldn't say that too publicly because the Parks Department will come after us. But
Listen, it was a wedding video.
it was a wedding video. It was a wedding video. Okay.
And you can't prove it's not. You can't prove it's a
Can't prove
romantic
it's
song.
not. But one of my favorite things was when the sunset hit the buildings on the Upper West Side, and it's like the sunset is hitting you and the buildings, and the sky looks beautiful. It's like golden hour. It's like seen straight out of La La Land. So this shot
Yes.
is Ezra running. For filmmakers out there, I made a mistake. I didn't increase my frames per second. Increasing the frames per second would have made it look like an actual like slow motion. Recording it was crazy.
Gave him a workout.
It was really fun because I was like, okay, so you're gonna run, and I'm gonna like run behind you, and then like he was here, I was gonna be like I was running, and I was gonna be from the front.
Yeah.
And
Harder than it sounds.
harder than it
Believe it or
sounds
not.
because Ezra is a runner.
I am in fact a runner. Yeah, because we found out to make it look like you're running, you do actually have to run at a reasonable speed.
Yeah. Because I remember you were like jogging one time and it looked really weird.
Yeah.
And we were just like, no.
And then I don't know if you realize how hard this was for me, but Max looked so funny, just like sprinting backwards.
Oh yeah, well, when I was in front of him, I was like,
And he looked terrified, and it was so hard to not laugh that I literally had to bite the inside of my cheek until I was like bleeding because I
No.
could not stop smiling. And like, this is not a scene to smile in.
you didn't tell me. Oh my gosh, it was so terrible. I would have changed the shot.
But you would have. Let's be honest.
So, this was also a cool shot. After we had gotten back from Riverbank, there's an emergency. There's a crisis that you're having, and you're just trying to block everything out, right? That's why you did it, right? Why?
I mean, yeah, it's blocking out the intense emotion and the song, but also I have a lot of sound sensitivity, so it goes to more of like the more surface level reason is because I have that sound sensitivity. When I get really stressed out, things sound like way too loud to me. So I have to like either have noise canceling earbuds or something to block out the sound. So, and then on top of that, it's just this overwhelming, very like, if you look at me, I am pushing my head very hard. It was honestly a little painful, but that was like just this very intense release of energy. Yeah, so these are the names of real people, first names only, that have meant a lot to me in my life. And the idea of it is in the song, you know, I'm being presented with the voice clips of these different people who care about me. And I wanted to kind of express that visually as well. So the way I came to do that was I would, at the end of like my journey of like running around, I come to this big, beautiful area with like just a huge amount of names on the floor of people that have cared about me. Once again, pushing back against the kind of lonely inspiration of the song. And then I flip over a couple names. I did genuinely write down on the back, by the way, on the back are different memories that I've had with the people that mean a lot to me. They're real. These are real things. Like I sat down and thought about it for a while. I will say, did not do that on the back of all 50 cards because I'm not a madman. I only did it on the ones we looked at.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so here we are at
Magic.
the park. This is the very, very tippy top of Riverside Park. So we went to Riverbank and we went to Riverside.
Shout out to Rivers.
Yep. And
so with the first scene we filmed, which was the scene in the park,
yeah.
The very bright scene in the park, that was my first time ever acting, and I was not prepared for this. I had no idea how to do it. And I remember we took so many takes of that, and after each one, I would go back to Max and be like, what needs to be fixed? And I started really bad, but after doing it more and more and just working on it, I eventually got to a point where I was like, okay, this is feeling better, and Max thought it was usable enough. And by the time we got to that scene at the with the sunset, I was like really feeling it now. Now I was like, I know how to do this, because I don't really feel self-conscious from other people, but I just like to make sure what I'm doing is excellent. But by that point, I was feeling nice and confident, and I was actually being like expressive, and yeah, so I got there, but it took a bit.
I thought everything looked great. I was just like, there were some takes that we did in the park and in Riverbank that looked good, but then Ezra would be like, "Oh, that doesn't look good," and I'm like, "You look fine. It's okay. You know, you're not. It's not like you're an actor." And I think that was something I really expressed to Ezra. It's like, you're not an actor. You're a human being, you know, making a song. You're not playing a character. You are yourself. Talk to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to the people. Speak from your heart. Whatever you're saying in the song, you wrote it, so it's your truth. So just say it like you're talking to a friend.
Yeah.
I remember giving that direction very clearly.
I was honestly so helpful. But wait, the next part is the coolest part.
The next part is the coolest part.
Brush her with my fingertips.
Whoa, magic
Whoa!
happens. It's crazy.
So that was done with 80 hours of visual effects to get those leaves to come up.
Yep. We had someone back there just throwing it.
We had someone
Hidden in the ground.
Hidden in the ground, blowing leaves, like with a leaf blower. No. So that basically what I learned after is that under Riverside Park is Amtrak.
Yeah.
And that was like a area with a vent, and we had no idea this was gonna happen. And it was such a weird coincidence that it was, and also that like a couple leaves had fallen at that point. It was still summer, and the train came through as we're doing the shot, and the leaves come up, and I'm just like,
it's beautiful.
I was just like completely just blown away about what was going on, and I was just like,
yeah, I was afraid the shot was going to be unusable, because like I didn't know what was happening. I just heard it. I was like,
yeah, I saw it, and I saw that in your face when I was editing it. You had a moment where you were like, what the fuck?
Because I was like, what? Why is the ground erupting? Like, what's happening?
It was a weird, loud sound on top of the fact that there was,
The wind just blew up behind me, and I was like, "Whoa, okay." I didn't know
yeah,
that.
I saw, and then like I had to edit around that look that you gave of like,
Touch her with my fingertips. Gently, she licks her lips.
like it was just like a little. Okay. So something that I realized in Riverside, with all the greenery, is like I kind of like it to be a little overexposed, not too overexposed, but having like so much brightness and with the green, it is symbolic. It's like the environment is telling Ezra, your life is actually great. Your life is actually filled with light and happiness and joy, and you're just overthinking things. You're not seeing the reality of what your life is. You're just sort of focusing on the negative things.
Definitely.
So those two shots, both improvised by you. The taking a deep breath, and I remember you did it once.
Oh, yeah.
You did it once, and I was just like, do it again every time because it was just so brilliant. It's like, you take a deep breath, and that's why we zoom in too, because it's, yes, you think you're alone in paradise, but as I zoom in, and he takes up more of the frame, it means that, this is enough.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And you sort of take a deep breath and you sort of tell yourself in that moment that you're overthinking. It's crazy. I have people that like me and I like them, and I'm not alone.
Yeah, and that kind of matches the song too, because especially with like what I thought of with the piano shot where it's like I pull back my hands. It's the same as the song where it's just like this overwhelming outpouring of emotion, and it reaches such a point where it's like you can't even express how you're saying with singing. That's why I dropped out of the song at that point, because I can't even express how I'm feeling at this point. I need to just let my surroundings express it, and I just need to be still with that for a moment. Yeah, so these clips are actually these are all real. We did not plan these out. Over the course of months, Sophia and I, whenever we were on a date, I would awkwardly be like, "Oh, do you mind if I just do you mind if I film us for like a music video?" So over the course of like 4 months of very awkward filming moments, we got all the clips for this. For the very last clip, I told her like, "Hey, this has all been me putting this together, but I want you to choose the last thing that'll go here. Like, I want to choose how you view the relationship. That way I can like kind of artistically complete it." And
So
she
he's
just
a
thought
good
that was
man.
really funny.
He's a good man.
That's right. Shoot.
Go ahead.
I'm Ezra Collins.
I'm Max Kohn.
And this has been a behind the scenes of Midnight.